Hey everybody, this is a video all about yoga mods. Mods are just short for modifications. So when do you want to use modifications or options, as I like to call them in a yoga practice? It's if you have an injury that you're trying to take care of, or if you have varying degrees of flexibility, or if you just feel like it, because sometimes you just want to put the knees down, right? So here are a couple of poses / modifications that you might see just in a general yoga class, and we're just going to kind of work through it. Okay? All right. So the first one that we're going to talk about is cat-cow. You might know cat-cow as being on your knees on all fours, hands under the shoulders. Sometimes you just don't feel like being on your knees, right? You just don't want to do it. So I like to go into a seated cat-cow sometimes. Bring the hands to the knees, take a big breath. And just as you would round that back on an exhale, do the same thing when you're seated, really pulling that belly button in toward the spine. Oh, yes. And you get a nice stretch in the arms. And then as you inhale, go ahead, bring that chest forward, slight lift of the chin. Yes? Let's do that again. Exhale, round, pulling that belly button in. Tuck that chin to the chest. And inhale, you take the arch, bringing the chest forward, slight lift of the chin. That's just a nice seated cat-cow instead of going onto all fours. My second yoga mod is for child's pose. And of course, I didn't bring out my block. Hold that thought. All right, here we go. So this is just your standard yoga block. You're going to find them in any yoga studio. You can purchase one at TJ Maxx or Target. Really, really easy to find. I like the foam yoga blocks rather than the cork because it's just got a little more give to it. So when we are in child's pose, perhaps some people might find it a little bit challenging to really get into child's pose and get those hips all the way back. So just know that's not the goal. The goal is to find this place of rest. So even if this is where you are, but you can drop down, you can bring that block just under the forehead and just rest here. Sometimes I like to just come all the way. Oh yeah. Rest that forehead on the block. You got 3 different heights on your block, so you can bring it there. This one's probably not as comfortable, but hey, do you, right? You can hang out right here. Another one of my favorites. I like to put it, and I'm gonna go a little higher than that. Oh, that's nice. Gives you a little bit of elevation, just makes it a little bit easier to get into your child's pose. Right there. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so that is a mod for child's pose. I'm gonna set that block to the side. Another mod that we can go into is for downward dog. This is when we get a little bit more challenging. We're getting warmed up in the practice. So instead of going into a regular downward dog, which is your upside down letter V, right? Just bring it down, bring those knees down to tabletop. So while everybody else or some other people might be here in their downward dog, drop to your knees. It's okay, it's all good. Hands are under the shoulders and just take a couple of rounds. Yes, in your cat, take a nice arch in that cow and breathe. Sometimes I like to come onto my fingertips as well because that takes a little pressure off of the wrists, which is really, really nice, you know? All right, we're gonna finish up on a round here. There it is. And as always, you can make fists for wrists. So that is a great modification instead of going into that full-on downward dog. One more. Nope, there's 2 more. So second to the last one, modification for planks. You know, I have a love-hate relationship with planks because they're so good for your core, but they can really be challenging, especially on the wrists. So what I like to do, this is kind of where that usual standard plank starts. Oh yeah, hanging out right there. And then about 3 seconds in, I drop to my knees, relax the top of my feet. Now be careful, we don't want to be in tabletop when we're doing a modification for a plank. because this really isn't doing anything for the core or the lower back, which is really what planks are supposed to be strengthening. So our modifications are just options to get what we want out of the pose, but also to just make it a little more accessible to us. So always start in that regular plank, then just let those knees gently drop. Relax the top of the feet, nice long back, pulling that belly button in. Oh yeah, feeling it in my core. I am feeling it. Trust me, even with those knees down, you got this. So another option as well, make it easier. I hate to say easier, make it a little more accessible than being on your hands. Drop down to your forearms, elbows right underneath those shoulders. Drop down to those knees. You can hang out right there. Still getting that good workout, still getting that core strength. And finally, our last yoga mod, this is the last one, is one for Savasana. As we know, Savasana is that final resting pose. And really, it's just kind of doing what feels right for you. If you've ever been in a class with me, you'll know that I rarely lay out all the way down like this. This just doesn't feel great on my back. So I like to bend my knees, let my knees fall in toward each other, one foot on each side of the mat. It's a great way for me to kind of get that lower back imprinted on the mat, hang out right here, and I can just be here for however long it takes. I should have put on sunscreen. I might not get up. And of course, for your final pose, if you're not really interested in being all the way down on your back, come into a seated position. You can take your Savasana hanging out right here. Maybe take a couple of minutes to just find that nice chill meditation, gently closing those eyes. Yes. So there you have it, your yoga mods, modifications / options that you can take with you to any yoga class. Remember, do what feels right for you. Listen to your body. Practice non-judgment. That's a big part of our yoga practice. So don't feel like if you choose an option or a modification that you're weak or you can't do something. All right? No judgment. Do what feels right. Thanks so much for checking in. And as usual, always make time to find your flow. Hey everybody, this is a video all about yoga mods. Jessa, leave me alone! Please don't listen while I do this. Hey, please, for real, let me get this done. Okay, all right. It's hot out here. I got this black mat. All right, here we go. Leave me alone. Okay, all right. Oh, I forgot to put on Do Not Disturb. Okay. All right, here we go. Hey everybody,